All right. We are live? We are live. Welcome to our weekly hangout. Stoked to have you here if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay. Really excited for today's topic and what we're going to explore. I think you're in for just a treat in terms of, evaluating and exploring your beliefs and, what we focus on impacts our life, our business, the world, especially if we're wanting to make a difference in the world. So I'm going to dive into that topic today. But firstly, my name's Terry Nicholson. I'm here in Australia. It's like early Friday morning. For the rest of the women on the panel right now, it's Thursday evening. And that's what's so beautiful. It's a global connection, global community. We're all working online for ourselves, but not by ourselves. We're part of this amazing tribe that is so supportive, just such a great community to be part of. It uplifts my life every single day and impacts my business in a fantastic way because of that. So I'll introduce the women on the panel. A couple of Catherine's dropped off, but I'll let Carol and Ellie introduce themselves. Just let us know where you're from, a little bit about your focus. What's one thing that you're working towards, one thing that's connected to your vision, and why you're doing this kind of work. One way you might like to impact the world. I'd love it if I'm totally putting you on the spot, but if you'd love to share something that just comes to mind as a way of letting people who are watching just get to know you more and know that we're real people caring about real things in the world. So I'll pass it over to you. Who wants to go first?
Okay. Hi.
Ellie. Carol.
My name is Carol McCaskey. I live in upstate New York, and I live at the other end of the house from Ellie. What am I interested in? What's my vision? I work and talk primarily to baby boomers and people a little bit younger. And my vision is to re-engender in those folks the passion that they have or used to have in their lives, and not let it stay buried anymore. It's time to bring it out, and let's hear your voice. And that's what I have to say.
Powerful. Awesome.
Cool. Very cool. Hi, I'm Ellie Walsh. I am at the other side of the house in upstate New York, on the other side of the world from Terry. Okay. And, I'm here because I do believe that we are all empowered, and we need to connect back into that. And when you're able to do things like you're able to do, be home, raise your own children, and create not just an income, but a wave of that other people can join in with you. That's my passion. If I can do this, if I can change my life, I truly believe I can just put my hands out and help. If I can do this, anybody can do this. So I love to be able to do that, to empower people, let them see how powerful they are and what they truly can do in their lives. So that's why I'm here.
Love it. Thank you. Oh, Catherine, you're back now. Did you hear what we were doing?
No, sorry, I got screwed up. So
well, I'll put you on the spot, and you can decline if you want to. But we just introduced ourselves and just shared one thing that we're passionate about, or that is part of our vision and making a difference in the world. So if you're willing to just jump on and share one thing as a way of just people getting to meet you before we go into the content for today.
Hi, everybody. I'm Catherine from Alameda, California. I'm a mother of two boys, and I'm empowered for helping everybody learn how to have their own business and to have a great team, and just to be able to work from the internet so they don't have to go to a job and they can do what they want. I mean, they can go to their kids' school activities or something, and so I'm mainly empowered to help some people to get a job online or make extra money. So.
Awesome. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, well, I mean, an extra $500 even a month can make a huge difference in people's lives, you know. Like, there's empowerment on many levels. So thank you, and I'll dive into what we're going to talk about today, and by doing that I'll share a bit more of my story too, because it's relevant to this topic, because it's quite personal. So I'm a mum of 3 boys, live very close to nature here on 15 acres, very close to the rainforest where I grew up. And my whole upbringing was surrounded by activism around, you know, being an activist for the earth and for the health of our planet, and you know, really striving to have a small ecological footprint, and, you know, actually showing up in terms of, you know, my family, who were part of helping save the rainforest, is going to be logged just up the road from where I live now. You know, it would just be a plantation now. Instead, it's an incredibly intact, thriving ecosystem. It's a national park. It's just so beautiful. This thread of activism and this awareness of the urgency of the environmental issues that are facing us and our planet, climate change, just, you know, gas mining, huge issues with huge impact. That's been part of my life, and I feel so grateful, and I'm so willing and ready, and part of my vision is making a difference in those areas and really contributing to a healthy world. So what I want to explore today is that sometimes, and it's been something that I've struggled with really, is that when we focus on our business or making an income for ourselves and our family, something that's happened for me is that I feel guilty that I'm not focusing on the environmental work or making the world a better place in that particular way. And of course they can integrate, which is part of what I'm going to talk about today. But it's just an interesting concept, because it's not just about, like, my example is about activism, but it could be about where is it in your life that you are prioritizing something else over your business, or just getting things rocking in the way that you want to. For other people, it's not so much about, you know, their contribution towards the planet as such, but they might just be trying to help everyone else before they help themselves. Yeah, and you know, it comes from our beliefs. It comes from our beliefs about being it's like we're responsible to a certain level, and then we're also not responsible. Like, we're not responsible for everyone else. It's not our job to fix everyone else. It's our job to take responsibility for ourselves and to do our very best in modeling that and supporting people. Does that make sense? Because I think sometimes the activism or the rescuer subpersonality, or part of us that can just feel like the whole weight of everyone else's problems, including the world's problems, are on our shoulders. And if we don't do something absolutely immediately and put everything else in our lives aside, then, you know, the world's fucked. You know, that's that belief. You know, that belief, and the urgency and the desperate nature of that is so strong. And I felt that so strongly because, you know, we're facing fracking and gas mining in my immediate, you know, region. You know, it's really serious. So there's that urgency. Yet at the same time, if we don't acknowledge that we actually do need to look after ourselves and make our own ends meet and create the capacity for freedom, and for that's in terms of time and financial freedom, it's really hard to be an effective giver to the world, or an effective activist, or an effective helper in whatever way you want to be in making the world a better place. So this is something I've been really exploring inside myself, because that guilt part has really impacted, that's connected to a belief, has really impacted how much focus and energy I give my business, and that impacts the results. Yeah. So I just wanted to bring this to the table today and share this and explore this with you. If you're listening live or listening to the replay, and just start to explore that for yourself. You know, where are you in your life prioritizing something to the detriment of, you know, just your basic basic means, or just taking your life to the next level that will then allow you to give so much more effectively in these other areas that you want to. And is that selfish? Question that. Is it selfish? What's your beliefs around creating an income for yourself? Do you believe that you're selfish, or that you're somehow taking from the world if you're going for your own dreams? You know, these questions are so important to look at, because I don't believe that it's selfish for anyone to want to live a healthy life with the means around them to buy organic food, or to make those simple lifestyle choices that are not only healthy for themselves and their children, but healthy for the planet. But it can get all mixed up with these internal beliefs that we have. So the analogy that came to mind really strongly was that classic one, is when you're on a plane, and I'm just about to get on a plane tomorrow, which is pretty far out, an international plane, to go and meet these women, hug them in person. With I've known this tribe for like 2 years, meeting every week, interacting daily. They're my family, my core family now. Never met in person, so I'm actually going to go and meet in person, so I'm pretty excited about that. So this feel free to jump in at any time if you have comments, but I'll wrap it up and open it up for discussion. And we'll check the page as we're going, see if there's any comments on the live page under the video would be tops. This analogy, you get on a plane and it's like, if there's an emergency and the gas things drop down, they always say put your own mask on before you help someone else put their mask on. Help your child or help anyone else in the space around you. It's like a classic that we always know and think of, but it's so common for us to not do that in our daily life, to focus on so much other stuff that is important, but we do it at the detriment of caring for our own, self in terms of physical self, but also our business, like actually giving it the time, attention, and love, really, that it needs to thrive, which will then enable us to give back more effectively anyway. So just have a look at that for a moment in your own life. Are there areas where you are attempting to save someone, whether it's on a planet level or just a family member or a colleague or anyone, where you're attempting to save or help or do that, that kind of intention, where really you haven't looked after yourself first and you are floundering, maybe you're just stressed out of your mind, maybe you just feel completely overwhelmed, and maybe you're even feeling resentful towards that person, although it's you that is doing the giving out without taking stock and taking care of your own needs. So, it's an interesting one to look at, and so often we can just get caught up in the do, give, and forget to go, okay, am I really looking after myself so that I can actually give effectively and sustainably? So, yeah, it's actually a big one, because we can get to the end of our lives, our entire lives, and not have really paused to look at that question. So it's serious. There's a quote that I read about recently, and I posted it on my Instagram because it just rang so true. Now I'm trying to remember what it is actually. But it's something like, what you do today matters because you're exchanging a day of your life for it. What you do today matters because you're exchanging a day of your life for it. So good to just pause and remember that. Don't you think? Because you think, oh, it's just a day, I'll just get through with another day, and it's like, my gosh, that's a day of my life. I don't know how many more days I'm going to get. So what you do with your days matters, and your beliefs impacting your focus and impacting actually how effective you are in fulfilling the vision that you have. Like for me, the vision of being really helping make a big difference in the world in terms of, especially around protecting our communities from fracking and gas fields, for me to be able to do that more effectively, to have time and financial resources to give to the lockthegate.org and to give my time, my energy, I actually need to focus on my business to create that time and financial freedom to give more effectively. So we've all got examples of that in our lives. But it can be hard to step back and go, I actually need to focus on my business, and it's not selfish. It's actually a more effective route. Now I'm going to illustrate that with just a quick story or a reflection or a case study. There's a woman called Sarita DeCleese, and I'm actually flying over with her tomorrow. She's a mum of 2 young kids from Perth, 2 and a 4-year-old kids, and she came online about a year ago, and was at a point in her life where just struggling to pay the bills, and just feeling like she was just going to have to go back to work just to pay the bills, but desperately did not want to do that because she wanted to stay at home with her kids and be there for them. That was the most precious thing. And so she turned online, she found this amazing vehicle that we use as well, and just absolutely set her focus. And her focus was about helping her family. It wasn't about saving the world at this point. It was about helping her family. And so she was dialed in on that focus of getting her and her family financially free, financially independent, financially steady, to lift that immediate burden. However, now it's been amazing to watch her. She's now, having like $23,000 months and, $10,000 in a couple of days, like income disclosure, not typical or average. She's obviously focused and, implemented intensely. But I'm watching her now. She's going, right, now I've totally shifted gears in terms of my family's reality and the life we're leading for ourselves and the freedom we have. How can I give back to the world? And she's in a position where she's only working her business a couple of hours a day, and she's got an incredible income coming in. Like, she's made over $120,000 in this first year, something like that, which is serious income, yeah. Especially if you're a stay-at-home mum that has not been working. She was in childcare previously, so she'd never done anything online, never done anything in this field. And so it's powerful. So she's now empowered and resourced to give. And she was recently at a humanitarian event over in Perth, and I'm really excited to get to hear what her thoughts are and where she sees her vision, because I know that she's in that place of like, wow, I am able now to give my time and my finances to something I really care about that's bigger than just my little family. So isn't that interesting? In 1 year, she's now in that position, whereas someone else, even myself, I can say this, I've been so resistant to focusing intensely on the business because of this feeling like I needed to save the world, that it's taking me longer to get to that place of having that financial free, yes, I'm making an income online already, but to step it up to that level where you can make big contributions of your time or resources to things you care about in the world. So my question for you is, or for me, where we've put our focus, is it the most effective and quickest way to get to what we're our vision is? Yeah? And appearing to be selfish maybe, and dialing in on shifting your family or your own or your family's financial or your financial reality, because so many people are just stressed out, dead broke, struggling in a job or whatever they're doing, or not in a job but just struggling and not able to not only share their voice like you're talking about, Carol, or feel empowered like you're talking about, or have an income stream like you're talking about, Catherine and Ellie, but just feeling like they're living a dead life, a struggling life, and not able to give back and live out their vision that they so know that's bubbling inside them to want to live. Yeah, so that's what I had for today. I just feel like I just wanted to bring this topic to the table because it can split your focus and impact your your life, your ability to give back, as well as just a whole bunch of other things. So I'm gonna pause for a moment here and open up the floor for any comments or just reflections from you women on the panel, or if there's any questions. Really interested to hear what you have to say after I shared that.
I have one. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I like that airplane analogy that you put with whether you have to put the mask on. Hold on.
Pattern interrupt. We've got beautiful barking dogs. At least we haven't got that cat's tail that looked like a snake this time. That was too funny. All right, go for it, Catherine. We can't hear you. Oh, she's coming back, it seems. She's going to go and do something with the dogs. All right, over to you. Anything from you, Ellie or Carol?
She's doing dog control. That's funny because I was thinking about that mask thing. About you need to put the mask on first before you can help somebody else, and that's so huge. I was thinking about it in the levels of when you are team building. There's people that you watch and see, and you think you could do so much here, and I can't make them. I can't make them, and that's it can be frustrating at times when you see the potential, and then I have a tendency to do that. I start going a little more out of my way. I go a little more out of, and then you realize, no, I can't make anybody. I can't make anybody do this. I can't give it to anybody. You can open a doorway, right? But I can't push them through. And if you did, they would just fall down. They wouldn't keep walking. So it's up to them. So, and then I find, like, I've had so much focus over here, and I don't have the focus back, on myself. You do that really sometimes, and they're like, can't you tell me? And, now I go Google it. Go get the information. Go Google it. Now, if you've gotten information and you have a question, that's great. But I'm not doing them a favor when I do things for them they can do for themselves. I can show them where to get that information, but then I need to let them go because they then they feel not as empowered. Okay, they're not teaching their own team then, right? And I'm utilizing my time finding stuff for them. So I have to really always try to balance that. That's not always an easy dance for me. It really isn't. So I'm really paying attention here. And I see Catherine got back here.
That's awesome, Ellie. It's so spot on, and it's that desire to help at one level, and but then boundary issues around boundaries of how much to help, and actually when is the point when, it's not actually helping them at all for me to help them. That's actually hindering them stepping up and helping themselves, and the empowerment and the energy and the movement that comes with them actually doing it themselves. It's such a good point. But then it also tied in with that belief that a lot of people have, this sort of people pleaser part of ourselves that wants people to like us, wants to help people, and part of that can be because we want them to think well of us. We don't want to say, no, you're going to have to find that out for yourself, or go Google it. There's a fear there that they'll judge us, or it can be down to that nitty-gritty level of belief that impacts where we have our boundaries of how we're looking after ourselves and how we're giving. So whether it's just in relation to people that we are working with, it's a really great point, Ellie. Yeah. Over to you, Catherine, if you'd like to.
Okay, sorry about that interruption. But anyway, I was talking about the analogy about the airplane where you put the mask over your own face. I always thought it was very selfish to do that, because I always thought you're supposed to help somebody else first. If you have a kid, I didn't think that it's better to be over your own face, because I thought maybe you'll be saved and the other one won't be saved. So even now I have a hard time with that analogy. And another thing was I'm a people pleaser. I'm now getting out of that habit, but with my family, I do bend over for them, and and do more for them than I should be doing. But I'm getting out of that stage too. Especially with my business, I'm putting it first more now than just, I won't stop. I'll stop doing my business for now because you're here and doing something else. No, I have to do both. I have to help the family and do my business so I make money and things like that. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, thank you, Catherine. Yeah, I really resonate with what you said there because I've often struggled with that too. Even sitting on the plane, going, "What do you mean I wouldn't put it on my kids' face first? Like they're the most important. I'd rather save them and let me die than." But the thing is that it doesn't necessarily need to be an either or. Usually, there's enough time to do both, and that what happens if I don't put it over my face and then I collapse or something, and then they never get it. That's all of us gone. So it's that interesting belief or thought that it has to be either or. Like it's a real life and death kind of internal belief, isn't it? That you think if I look after my own needs, then someone else could potentially die. It's not that it will give me the agency and the ability to then help them in the best way possible. That they're going to then thrive. We often can think that, no, we've got to help everyone else first before we help ourselves. Interesting one, isn't it?
I tell you, I was debating whether to even get into this or not, but I will quickly. I won't. It's such a long story that we could spend days on this. But years ago, my stepson, I was involved with his mother. Had an accident and became a quadriplegic at a young age. He was newly married and had one child and one on the way, and he was in service at the time. And needless to say, he was totally helpless immediately after the accident. He was still in the hospital, etc. But his mom and I jumped in and took over. Somebody had to for a little while, but then we reached the point, as you say, where is that point when we didn't know when was the right time to back off, and we were still in that rescue mode, and we were making decisions for him instead of helping him make his own decisions at that point, and it had to do with where he was going to live and how he was going to live, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we even went to the point of making adjustments and changes in our house so he could come live with us. And at the end, he decided, no, that wasn't for him. He went and was able to get his own house and his own helpers and what have you. But the point I want to make is, yes, it's so easy to get into that once you start helping someone, something, some cause, some whatever it is, it can be extremely difficult to know where that line is. One thing that helped me, and I never forgot this, is I'm a social worker, and I used to work in a mental health hospital. And I shared an office with a rehabilitation counselor, and she said to me, you really can't help someone else if you're not stable yourself on the ground. And we had certainly lost our perspective, our stability, and what have you in this rescue mode. So that helped me to pull back a little bit and realize where we had to shift the power back over again to him. And I don't know. Whenever I come into this situation, I try to apply that as much as I can. It's not always easy. As you say, do you put the mask on yourself first or on your child first? But if you think about, you have to maintain your own stability first in order to be able to help someone else. That was a big help for me, whether it be a person that you want to help again, or a cause, or saving the planet, or whatever it happens to be. So that's my 2 cents.
Thanks, Carol. That's a really powerful story. Very powerful story, and that navigating that time, that that point of when to pull back and when to, you know, so in any moment we can all relate to that. When do we help here, and when do we trust that the other person is actually able, more able than we might be giving them credit for, to make their own decisions and make things happen in their lives. And yeah.
I think you just hit, I'm sorry, I think you just hit a big word there, trust. I think that might be a big key there. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely, and that's where I get caught up in my mind around the earth stuff, because I'm like, we're on a full fast track to destruction. Where's my trust around earth being the trust around the long-term future of our world. It's an interesting one, because for me there's a difference between the earth stuff and people stuff, and the trust is different for me around those two. It's easier for me to trust the people stuff, but the earth stuff's a deeper trust that this planet is way bigger than us humans and what we do. So, gee, we've really kind of explored some deep topics here, I believe, tonight, or today. I'm saying tonight because it's night over there for you. I'm always operating in this kind of time zone difference. So I think we'll wrap it up there and leave it with you watching to, just take some moments after this and just ask these questions for yourself. Really have a look, maybe take a little assignment away almost of just sitting down and looking at your life and where you're putting your focus and what your beliefs are around what you're doing and where you're putting your focus, and whether that's actually helping you be the most effective person that you want to be in terms of your vision and what you want to create or contribute to the world. Just really take that moment, take that time, sit down, reflect, and adjust course if you need to. I think it's a great way to think about what we're doing as experimenting, not to think that, oh, I've made this choice and that's just like set and stuck and I've got to follow it in this particular way. So I've been experimenting doing this. I'm doing a reassessment right now, and I might need to just shift my course a fraction to be more in alignment with my vision and my heart, and that's completely fine. We're doing an experiment. We reassess for a period of time. We realign, and do not feel like you've made a decision and you just have to feel stuck following through with something that you actually don't resonate with anymore. It's a powerful thing to just take that power back. Take your power back, people. So we're going to wrap it up. We're off to meet in a few days. It's so exciting. That's a powerful thing about this tribe, is that there's this online support and interaction constantly all around the world at whatever time of the night or day. There's support for you, but there are actually live events where you actually get to meet in person. This is the first time I'm going, so it's a big deal. But there's a button under this video. Feel free to click it. If you're watching this, if you're intrigued by what we're doing, if you're intrigued about the vehicle that we're using to make an income online for our families, and I haven't even gone into the ways that so many people are actually using the vehicle, blogging, etc., about their passions, about their causes, and actually making an income from that. So they totally can be completely interconnected. Your vision of making a difference in the world with making an income can be completely interconnected in a very way of complete integrity. So if you're interested in that, please click the button, join us, connect in with us, connect in with this resource, this tool, this vehicle that is allowing us to make an income online. And do things like what Sarita did. Set your mind and go, I'm going to just make this work part-time, change your life, and be able to get to your vision so much more quicker than struggling along doing what you don't like and not actually being able to give in the way you want to. So I I really hope that this discussion today, this conversation has deepened your connection with yourself, with the world, and with your own vision and what you want to make out of this precious life. So go make it count. Come join us if you feel to. Get back to any of us. You know, if you're invited to watch this, get back to the person who invited you. Have more questions, or just click that button. Get in. It's not a big deal. Come on an experiment. Come make an experiment. Just make a choice right now and come join us. This is rocking. There's serious, amazing stuff going down in this tribe itself, but in like the bigger tribe. It's like there's amazing stuff happening, really serious ripples, and people really making a powerful impact on their own lives and in the world. So we invite you. And now we're actually going to shut off our live stream, and we stay on to mastermind with each other and just, you know, delve into what's working, what's not working for us, how can we, you know, how can we get things happening more for each of us in our business and our lives. So it's really powerful. So we're going to shut that off, and you know, if you join us, you'll be part of that closed door mastermind. So anyway, with no more ado, let's shut it off and have an awesome day out there. See you later.